subject. Hundreds of thousands of candidates around the country started their supplementary matric examinations at various centres around the country yesterday. The exams will run until the 24th of March, but for the 350 learners of Malamulele, although schooling is expected to return to normal today, it is too late for them. Learners were not able to sit for the examinations yesterday due to ongoing protest action in the area that affected more than 140 schools. Residents are demanding a municipality separate from that of Thulamela. A similar fate befell the learners from John Taolo Gaetsewe around Kuruman in the Northern Cape, who couldn't write their final exams last year. The 486 learners finally have a chance now to make up for the lost time and opportunity. 8 high schools near Kuruman were prevented from writing following the closure of their schools by irate community members who were demanding a tarred road. Some learners have, however, decided to repeat grade 12 on a full-time basis. Now, the Acting Chief Director, Media Liaison, National and Provincial Communication at the Department of Basic Education, Elijah Mhlanga, joins us this morning. That title's gotten a lot bigger since I last time spoke to you, Elijah.
No, it's always been like that, yeah.
Okay. Just tell us, how did the first day of examinations go? Immaterial of the problems that we see around.
The first day went very well. We have a small number, 85,000. So it's easy to manage that because in some schools we have 2 learners writing, in others it's 7 or 10. So it's manageable. But as for the Malamulele situation, it is not too late because yesterday it was computer applications technology. And the information that we have indicate that none of the learners there had registered to sit for that particular subject. And today as well, it's IT, and none of the learners there are writing today. So there was no damage. Only tomorrow that they will be writing accounting, and we are prepared for that. The question papers are already in the vicinity of the schools, and so they will write. So none has lost the opportunity to write. So our focus now shifts to the entire system there in terms of grade 1 to 11.
You talk about tomorrow is a red letter day, if one can say that, in Malamulele. You talk about your guys being prepared for it, but protests continue. What does that preparation look like other than just making sure that the exam papers and the like is there? Are you looking at things like security, maybe?
Of course, the province has put together a comprehensive plan that looks at curriculum coverage, security, and emergency measures that we can put in place, because remember some schools were satellite and damage has been caused. So now they're busy assessing the damage and the cost thereof, but at the same time looking at the possibility of bringing mobile classrooms to accommodate those learners. So it's a whole range of plans that are being considered because we want to be able to cover the 4.5 weeks in lost time that we have incurred. And we need to make sure that we move as quickly as possible. Everyone that's involved, teacher unions, the community members, education officials, the security cluster, everyone must come together so that we restore education services as well as other services in the area, because the shutdown did not just affect education, but it affected life in general, including business as well. So we're working together and we want to make sure that life returns to normal as quickly as possible.
Let's move to the Northern Cape now, and if you can give us an update with what's happening at John Taolo Gaetsewe in the Kuruman area. What's your expectation there?
Well, the expectation is that all the learners that were supposed to have sat for the final grade 12 examinations last year are supposed to be writing as from yesterday. But the difference is that with them is the entire examinations, because they didn't even sit for one paper. So now we're expecting them to take this opportunity, which is their first opportunity, by the way, to sit for the examinations. And we're expecting them to do that. And we haven't received any reports of any disruptions or problems in that area. And we hope it will remain the same until the 24th of March, when the examinations are completed.
Now, in the Northern Cape, learners have also been implicated in some places, mass cheating they talk about. The Pixley Kaseme district. They'll have a chance to rewrite exams. How does that process proceed?
What happens is that if you are suspected and under investigation for irregularities, that includes group copying, for example, the regulations allow you to sit for the examinations, and whether you get the results, that will depend on the outcome of the final formal hearing decision to say are you guilty or not? If you are guilty, then even the results of your supplementary examinations will be blocked and withheld and nullified. In fact, meaning that you'll have to sit for the examinations again. If you are banned for a year, if it's 2, then you'll have to sit for 2 years without writing the examinations. But if it's 3, then you'll have to sit for that entire period. So it all depends on the nature of your offense and the extent of your involvement in it. So we have had those pockets of problems in some provinces, but not to the extent as we've seen in the Eastern Cape and KZN. That's
what I wanted to ask you about the report, Eastern Cape, KZN. I think last number I saw was 58 centres implicated. When are we likely to see this report and then what the kind of action that will come out of that report?
Very soon. On the 24th of February, we are beginning with the formal hearings. And those implicated persons will be invited. In fact, letters are going out as we speak, notifying them of the dates and venues and how they should prepare for this. So they will have to come present their case. And then on the basis of what they tell us and what we have as evidence, a decision will be made. But we expect to complete this within a month. So by the end of March, we expect the entire process to be completed so that perhaps first week, second week of April, we announce the outcome.
Well, Elijah, thank you very much for joining us today. That title is so long, I'm not going to read it again. That's Elijah Mhlanga from the Department of Basic Education. He's the Acting Chief Director, Media Liaison, National and Provincial Communication.
Spokesperson.
Thank you for joining us today. Always willing to come in and tell us what the very latest is. That's what transparency is about. After